come on back to the front of the stage, sir. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Jay. Jay with a clip that she added me on, keep me in the loop, love. And shout out to everybody that keeps me in the loop, especially when y'all send me links or clips is even better. Like a clip that I could just play right there on the Twitter timeline. Like, oh, what's this? Hold on. This is what we need to talk about on tomorrow's stream. Bet. I really appreciate y'all. So Jay says, check out at Jae Millz' latest video of what hurt battle rap the most, unprofessionalism. He gives an example of a moment where he was unprofessional, arguing with league owners and learning from it at ITSARP. So we're going to play this together.
I needed to get this off.
I did watch it already, but let's check it out together.
I needed to get this off my chest, right? Us as battle rappers got to start taking some accountability too. Now, I may not have missed a bunch of flights and choked and messed up on a bunch of pay-per-views and did all that. But I did go back and forth with league owners publicly. I went back and forth with Smack publicly. I went back and forth with ARP publicly. Should I have gone back and forth with ARP and Smack publicly?
No. No.
I had their phone numbers. I needed to get this off my chest, right?
Oh, that's the end of the clip?
Us as battle rappers got to start taking some accountability.
That is the end of the clip. Okay. So Jae Millz alley-ooped me right there. He and I's topic, you know. I never spoke on it from my side or my perspective until right now. So I'm going to give you guys that story from my perspective of the ARP and the Jae Millz fallout. Okay. Before I do that, I want to say this is now the second time I'm able to see some Jae Millz content, and I'm able to, you know, respond with a high level of respect and appreciation. You know, the video that he did, because he's doing a series. His series is what hurt battle rap the most. And the first part was ARP and Smack, right? And it was well put together. His perspectives, his opinions were very solid, very, very good, very logical. And I just respected, you know, the things he said about myself, the things he said about RBE, and his opinion on overall that history within battle rap. I really appreciated and respected it. And it let me put my sword down towards the guy. You know what I'm saying? Put my shield down, my sword down towards the guy. Like, because I spoke about this on the last stream. So once again, shout out to Jae Millz. And I appreciate what you're doing. I really, really do. Much respect. And here again, even the accountability piece of this, because none of us are perfect, man. You know, if I wanted to go Super Saiyan humility right now, I would say, you know what? I probably was a part of our problem too. But I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna leave it all on you, nigga. Nah, but real talk, man. Accountability is something that we don't really take a lot in the culture. There's times where I didn't take accountability. There's times where I probably could have taken more accountability in a particular situations. There's a lot of times where I ain't deserve none of the fucking accountability. And I'm like, it is what it is. And accountability, only if you guys knew how much it crushes a lot of business and a lot of battle rap and a lot of, you know, some of your favorite league owners. Like, you just watch what they say. They don't got no accountability for nothing. You know, some battle rappers, no matter what's going on, it could be a million situations, no accountability for any of it. Some bloggers, no accountability for nothing that they say or they do. You know, it's part of battle rap. We have a very toxic environment. But make sure y'all go over to Jae Millz' channel and check out this whole series that he's doing. I think it's a smart series to approach, being that he was there as one of the pioneers. He was a part of being a fan from the outside looking in while he's on tour and shit, I guess, during some of the mid years building and all that. And here he is in this current era back on the scene, whether on beat or off beat. He has battles last year, you know, regular traditional battles. And then on beat, one of the biggest battles of the year with him, DNA and Goods. You know what I'm saying? So he knows the culture. He is the culture. So go check out this series. I have high expectations for every episode that he rolls out because he knows the culture. Okay. But let me tell y'all now, for the first time, why I think Jae Millz and I had problems. It's not really a think, but I'm trying to be humble. I'm trying to be humble. So if you guys remember, let me walk you down a little bit of the history first, obviously. We do the Murder Mook and the Aver battle in 2018. In 2019, I said it's up and it's stuck. I I did 2019 damn near like I did my retirement year, 2023, all Blue Room. 2020, I mean 2019, I said it's up and it's stuck. We did the Averb and the Mook, and I said I got to keep my foot on the gas with momentum like this. I got to, and that's where you see battles like the Hollow and Math. That's where you see battles like Hitman and Bill Collector. That's where you see battles like K-Shine versus Jae Millz. Okay. RBE always being this take a risk, platform. You know, I want to bring back King Los and nobody know what's gonna happen. I want to bring back 40 Cal and people to see like, is he gonna sound still like the Fight Club? I want to bring Jag to the stage and say like, okay, we heard him on Angry Fan Radio or heard him on Beat, traditional rap. Let's see what you got. You announcing versus Math. Okay, we gonna see. I love doing that. I want to bring Mook back after 4.5 years. And the list continues of the type of shit that we've done like that. I like doing that shit. And with Jae Millz, it was no different. It was just like, and for Mook and then Jae Millz, it just made so much sense, right? Because of their epic battle, right? Some of the first battle that many of us ever watched, Jae Millz versus Mook. So here we are bringing Mook back, and then next here we are bringing Jae Millz back. And you don't waste the return like that. Fuck a warm up. Respect him as a pioneer. Give him a killer. Respect the moment. Bring in a killer. Respect the business. Bring in a big name. All of this. And that's why I was able to even cut him the check that I cut him, which was a very nice battle rap check. You don't see the type of checks that Jae Millz got for the Shine battle too often. So shout out to the whole situation, all parties involved in that and what we created. So you have that moment. Let me take my headphones off for a second. You have that moment. Even Jae Millz at this point talks in a way where he accepts, the outcome of that K-Shine battle. Like he says it like with humility now. Like I had to learn, blah, blah, blah. Same way other people got to learn how to lose. You know what I'm saying? You see him say that. So K-Shine kicks Jae Millz' ass, respectfully. And when you take a L like that with that type of anticipation for return, it's compounded. It's not like somebody actively in the field, like let's say a Geechee, and then Geechee loses horrifically to Mook. It's okay. Geechee could come back and his fan base and his activity and how much he's been in front of the culture right back, and a promotion will work like this for him. No problem. But Jae Millz has been off the scene, with nobody knowing his capabilities. That's the difference. It's like, no, Geechee, even though you ask about Mook, we know your capabilities. We don't know his capabilities. Then you see him, and then you're ready to say, go back to where you came from. That's the coach's reaction. Here goes ARP and Jae Millz fielding this after the battle. And I found a way creatively to put him in a very good promotion where we would be able to dumb down some of that backlash off of, let him go back to it, that type of vibe, right? I create this concept called closure, where you get Hitman and Bill Collector, where you get Math and Clips, where you get Bonnie and QB, O-Red, J Murder, and also you get battles like Jae Millz versus Ines. Closing it out, doing it 3 rounds, doing it traditional, doing it on stage, letting it be universally judged, coming off of all this shit from the Making the Band and all of that movement with Diddy and all that type of shit. That's the promo. That's the angle. That's the sell. That's the overshadowing there. That's the creativity there. That's the marketing. Okay. And I always use the story of people like Vada Fly, one of the biggest bloggers on the scene, who puts a video up. Oh, Jae Millz is announced. Throw him in right, blah, blah, blah. And I call him personally on behind the scenes. Yo, give him a chance. Give him a chance. Yo, AR, you lucky I fuck with you. Thank you, Vada. Let me get off the phone. And I'm fielding. And I don't know if Jae Millz knows that, but Vada attests to this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is me going past. It's not the way my reputation is. It's like past battle rap, my vibe that I give to people. Like a lot of people tell you, like, give a shit more than I should sometimes. You know what I mean? But anyway, I look at that situation as like, yo, we helping each other more than what is common out there. Fast forward, I get into the Straight to It year. The Straight to It year was the year after Max Out 1 and Max Out 2 was back to back. All right. I did like Max Out 1, Max Out 2, and then I might have did Lift It Soul Reloaded that had the Big K and Charlie clips. I think that's the order that I did. But when I got into the Straight to It year, which is when people are saying like, oh, he fell off and all this, I'm just like, nah, I'm trying something different. The Straight to It year was all YouTube battles. A lot of them 2-minute rounds because I'm not paying to make up for a door, a VOD, or a pay-per-view. So where some people is making $6,000, they might be getting offered $2,000 or $2,500. And there's no guns to nobody's heads. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. On the flip side, ain't nobody tucking nothing. Ain't no secret deal with no third party. This is ARP in his own pocket saying, I'm not selling no tickets at the door. I'm not selling no pay-per-view or VOD. I'm just going to shoot this fucking footage will ruin your day. I'm going to put it on the channel. I'm going to pay you a couple racks for it for 2-minute rounds. Right? Jae Millz was brought into that fold as well, strongly. And he was standing in front of some pretty good opponents. Big K is one of the opponents. Big K versus Jae Millz is on the channel right now. Go check it out. Very entertaining battle. That's where I was able to see Jae Millz is coming off much better to the fans in smaller rooms, smaller controlled environments. And you started seeing the bloggers' reactions like, yo, he's figuring it out. He's figuring it out. This is all off of matchmaking, environment, the gumbo pot that's being stirred. Of course, I can't write the bars. I'll never take all the credit. There's 3 sides to the equation. I always say that shit. But that nigga ARP is a big factor of a lot of this shit and how it's going. I'm able to even have incredible performances from people that don't do well on stages. Bringing people back like Moneybags, Bones Brigante, K Walker has, to me, one of my favorite K Walker performances of all time is in that room, that Straight to It room. And we're going off. 40 Cal's best performance possibly is in that room, in that Straight to It type of setting, smaller type of situation. So we're doing our thing. Now we get to one of Jae Millz's battles, right? His battle. No, actually, let me stop. Let me get to one of Straight to It battles. Let me get to Reed Dollars versus Big K. Okay. Y'all know I build shit up. I got y'all. It's all battle rappers in the room. That's what that was the crowd, because these were the cards where it was like 18 battles. So if you got 18 battles, all those battlers on a card, plus they bring a little entourage with them, or 1 or 2 they homies with them, whatever. That's the crowd. 1 or 2 other special invites. Other than that, go look at the flyers. The flyers don't have an address on them. No, it was not a public event. Okay. People was finding out the fucking address. People like Anwar hit me up like, yo, Twerk want to pull up. Yo, can we get the address and shit? I'm like, yeah, it's all good. Sir, yeah, search the address. Tell them, come on, pull up. Y'all see the footage of all this shit, right? That's the setting of these battles. But when you get to Reed and Big K, this was a part of Big K's round.
Had your ass motherfucking 6 flat. Kick back off the impact. What else I said, man? You want to look at my phone? You want to look? Yeah, I'm gonna look at my motherfucking phone. I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that shit.
Somebody, homie from Philly ad-libbing in the background is crazy.
I said squeeze llamas, get clapped. What else I said off this shit? Hey man, I don't give a fuck. I told you I was coming later, man. It's all good, bro. I said squeeze llamas, get clapped. I'll push your wig back. make them buckle under the jaw from a chin strap. If we
So point being, Big K ain't the only one. You had some battles for this YouTube only type of thing that was not as prepped as it should have been, especially for an RBE battle, but it happens. I don't have a perfect resume, people. K wasn't the only one. Hell, from the same battle, you also had Reed.
Everything I spit be crap. That was a coat line. Yes. Oh, y'all trying to go viral?
Dog strikes again. The dog strikes again. Come on, all right, let's get it.
I was there right here. Y'all trying to go viral.
That nigga Gwitty hopped off the stage and stepped down and said, "I'ma stand right here. Y'all about to go viral." Shout out to Gwitty, yo. That is hilarious that you did that. He basically is like, 2 phones coming out in the same battle. We going viral. Let me step down in front of the camera. Gwitty is crazy. Yo, the Straight to It series was so popular. The way we was doing it and rolling it out, battle after battle after battle, smashing on YouTube. Even Gwitty he had a jump in his profile. And his ad libs in the Straight to It series, I was putting him there on purpose. Like I want his ad libs in the background. Like it's becoming an entertainment thing. And you could see that time frame. I bet you it goes aligns with that Surf interview I played the other day, time-wise, when you see Surf like, what's ARP gonna do? Book Gwitty? He's taking a shot at Gwitty because this year, Gwitty's profile is up. You know what I'm saying? Gwitty's like pretty much like an RBE guy. Like shout out to Gwitty, man. That is hilarious. I'm gonna get to these supers in a second. I got y'all. But now let's go to the third example. So you saw in those previous battles that I put up, right? You saw Jae Millz standing on stage in the background, same red hoodie. So this is his battle, same event, same Straight to It series, battling Jae Murder.
Atlanta. Atlanta. Look. Oh, don't do the big K. Take a picture of you. Nah, you and your notes. Don't do the big K. It's your turn, girl. What? You and your notes. That shit different for this era, huh?
That's it. That's the last piece. Okay. So after that, we get to the next card that I start to build. I don't know if it was a Straight to It card or a different card. And me and Millz is on the phone. And Millz is pretty much like, yo, I'm on the next card, right? And I'm paraphrasing people. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. But pretty much it's like, I'm on the next card. And my response to it was pretty much like, yeah, I got you, but not this one. Like we wait another card or two or something like that. We weren't aligned for the next card, period, okay? And he felt the way. And we either got out of the text thread at that point or off the phone, one or the other. Couple hours, I remember this shit because I was always waiting for like Jae Millz, like if he's gonna tell an inaccurate story. He never did, but I was always waiting with this. Y'all think I'll be sitting on so many screenshots and receipts and shit. I'm like, yo, if this nigga diss me, boy. But so a little bit of time went by after that, and he hits me again. I think this is definitely in text. Hits me again, and he's like, yo, question. Is Jae Murder, Big K, or Reed on the next card? And I probably answered to him, yeah. Like a nigga like Big K be on like every card I do, right? And Murder is to me a RBE guy as well. Okay, now quick news flash for the people in the back. Big K is my second card ever. He's on my second card ever. And he rolled out for RBE, and I rolled out for him ever since. Jae Murder, ever since he battled Mr. Millz in the validation card in like our first or second year, whatever, he's been a guy that I grabbed a lot too. Like he's like an RBE guy to me. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like his Daylight battle, that's one of his highest view battles ever. You know, he's got so much work. His early battle versus Rosenberg, and obviously later on cards with Jae Millz battling people like O-Red. He battled Flaws. He battled so many people on RBE. Jae Murder is one of my guys, one of my go-to guys. You know what I'm saying? So Jae Millz asking that, and me being like, yeah, because I don't want to be no bitch and be like, nah, they ain't on the card. And then the flyer pops up and it's like, oh, you bitch ass nigga, you lied. What am I lie for? You know, so when I told him like, yeah, he ain't like that. He ain't like that. And then when I started rolling out the card and the flyers dropped, that's when Millz snapped on me on Twitter. That's when Millz snapped on me on Twitter. You know, it's all there. It's all there. You know, Millz is pretty much like, once again, I don't want to over paraphrase, but it's like the position was like, you booking these niggas that be choking and pulling out their phones. This is what's fucked up with battle rap. This is like the favoritism of battle rap. This is where these leagues be fucking up battle rap. It was that type of his position that he was taking. You know, like how am I not on the next card? But these niggas that is pulling out their phones and you paying them on your next card. They didn't respect the platform. They didn't respect you. They didn't respect the business. They didn't respect the culture. I understand that position. I do. But at the same token, I just think that when Millz came out like that publicly, he doesn't understand the position of not only were you semi there, when here goes this ARP bringing somebody back, and this is why I did the whole lead-in, people, with the K-Shine segment that I did. Not only were you there, where ARP, whether you knew it or not, is behind the scenes patching this up and trying to find creative ways to push you, even though you're coming off of something that the fans don't agree with. Not only did I do that for you, but I also have more history with them than I have with you. There's interviews on the Breakdown Cruise podcast with Winged, for example, old interviews after Big K choked in his battle versus Iron Solomon. This was the Rare Breeds card, one of my biggest cards ever. This is when we brought back King Los and we brought back Mook and did the Verb. All of that is that card. Pat Stay versus Danny Myers is on there, and it's that card, the shutdown half of the year card, right? Big K has one of his worst performances on that card versus Iron Solomon. He had some personal stuff going on, but he still did the best he could versus Iron Solomon. Immediately after that card, I'm on interviews. It's documented. Wayne's like, so I get, what are we doing with Big K? And I'm there saying, we're going to figure out his next battle. That's what I was saying. Because I understand when somebody really goes all out for me, or goes all out for RBE, or has given me a bunch of great or classic performances. And then there is that time where you drop down. And I don't just turn my back and say, oh, that one time when you said no, or that one time where you fucked up, here goes ARP, business first. I didn't treat people like that. I didn't treat people like that. And I didn't even treat Millz like that. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was out of line from my perspective. But despite it being out of line, the kicker that took it where I was just like, yeah, there's no need for me and him to communicate ever again. Right? Was, and I don't feel that way now, but the kicker was he turned it into an RBE URL thing. And I have a better reputation about how I deal with people than those guys. I do, generally. In the culture behind the scenes, I know that they will argue that it's all good, right? But I have a better reputation of my dealings with people than they do. All right. And Millz started to tweet things like, you know what, it's all good. I don't need that RBE. I'm going upstairs now. And URL also has a reputation of booking things tactically. I just did the stream the other day with like the Diz booking versus Real Sick, this anti-easy and RBE moment. Or how Sean is on 3 Letterman right now, anticipating what actually is coming to. You see Shadi online right now saying, since I'm the face of URL now, right? Sean is looking at that like, you see, I knew it. Now, they can have a genuine relationship out of nowhere now, but how does that look for Sean? You know? So I'm just saying there be these things that URL does, and they take advantage of moments to market. And I'm able to look at it and say, oh, yeah, you're going to end up over there. That's cool. But the guy that took the extra step, not just capitalizing on a controversial moment or capitalizing on a win or whatever, which is what Shine is saying that he believes what happened with Shadi. Nobody wanted to see him. The moment he has a great performance, you capitalize. And capitalizing is a smart thing. but it's the reality that we all need to see. And I felt like Jae Millz, the guy that was more interpersonal, honorable, and respectful towards how you came back, I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve, because those guys will dangle a carrot and make you feel like, hey, come on home to us. They do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? That was when me and Goods wasn't talking for a little bit. I felt like it was that. You know, it happened a million times, and it's cool. And I'll still say the word allegedly in case somebody has a problem. You know, I'll still say the word allegedly. But you know, I just felt like, damn, it was like this guy went out of his way. I don't know if you know it or not. And you brought what you brought to the table as well. Shout out to you. Had some good performances in the Straight to It series. And we also made some good money together on the Shine thing behind the scenes, business-wise. Closure was a success. Had Hitman Bill Collect as one of my biggest streams. You know, so you're doing your part as well. But how you turn this into a URL diss? Them niggas don't fuck with you the way I fuck with you. So I was like, all right, now go learn the difference between me and them. That was like my position. You know, that's like how I felt. Go work with them and see the difference between me and them now. You know? But that's just my perspective. I never told that full story. But like I said, seeing, you know, that joint from Millz' recent blog, and everybody go check it out. It kind of alley-ooped me, since he said he had something to get off his chest. You alley-ooped me to get that off my chest finally. So now you done got that off your chest. I done got my shit off my chest. Now that should be the last piece now of any of our, you know, past history of the negative. And now we can only look at all the positive that we've done. You know what I'm saying? So once again, shout out to Millz. All right. There y'all go. I gave y'all a real nice battle rap piece in today's stream, huh? Horrible transition incoming in 3, 2, 1. Let's go to sports.